classical flute artist Meshka. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to teach you how to make my awesome homemade pouring medium from scratch with cheap, easily accessible natural ingredients. You can make a gallon for just under $16. But it's best to make it in small batches and if it's used within a few weeks. I did this cool painting yesterday with it and it dried beautifully. Derived from milk, casein dates all the way back to ancient Asian cave paintings. So, to make my casein-based pouring medium, start off by warming up 4 cups of non-fat, low-fat, or skim milk in a pot over low heat until the milk is hot to the touch but not burning. And this is what I'm using. It is non-fat. So let's turn on our element. I'm just going to put it on low, maybe around 2, while I measure out the milk. There's 1 cup. Two. 3, and there's 4 cups. Just give that a quick wipe out. So I'm going to let that simmer for a few minutes until it gets nice and warm. If you have a thermometer, take it to about 140 degrees. I'll just speed this part up. Okay, this milk is warm enough now, but I'm just going to transfer it to a non-oxidizing pot. Because I don't want it to turn black. And this pot was not the best choice. Okay. So now we need to add approximately 6 tablespoons of distilled white vinegar, which is about 3 ounces or just over 1/3 of a cup. Or you can substitute lemon juice if you don't have distilled white vinegar. So let's pour that in. Oops. Hold on a minute here. Got some on the stove. Okay. So this will curdle the milk and separate the quark from the water and the whey. And that should happen pretty rapidly. Just give it a gentle stir. Okay, that won't take very long. I'm just trying to clump it all together gently. Okay. Now you have to strain it. Makes a nice clump of quark. Just drain out as much of the liquid as you can. I'm just gonna scoop up this little bit, oh, that's in my strainer. Okay. And now we need to rinse the cork. So I'm gonna pour it in the strainer. I'm just gonna wash it with some distilled water. Squeezing it out. So I'm going to do that 2 or 3 times. Give it a good wash. Okay, one more time. Okay, so put your cork back into your pot, and then you need to dissolve 2 tablespoons of borax, or if you don't have borax, you can use baking soda. I'm just going to move this out of the way. Okay, so about 2 tablespoons. Oops, that's a little extra. That's all right. And then you need to add about equal amounts distilled water. So, and then a little bit more. And you make a little slurry with that. Actually, I'm going to use a wooden spoon instead. And you just pour that over your casein, quark, whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna move that out of the way for a minute. This will help to break up the quark. Okay. Let's turn that back on. That's just on low heat. And I need to melt this completely. It's very important to use low heat because you don't want this to brown. And this can take a few minutes, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit. I'm switching to a whisk to help break that up and melt it. I'll just speed this up. Once the casein is completely melted, it's time to strain it into a glass jar. Just move that out of the way. If you notice any clumps of undissolved quark, return it to the pot until it melts. Just trying to get it all out of the pot here. I think that last little bit's a bit too thick to go through the strainer. Just try and force it through. Still coming out. So once it's cooled, it's ready to use, but for some techniques, you'll have to thin it with some water until you get the consistency that you need for the particular technique you want to do. Just start off with small amounts of water. Because it really doesn't take much. And you should store it in a cool place or in the refrigerator for about a month. And don't worry, that funky smell goes away once it cools down. This is thick enough you can use it for blooms or thin it for other techniques. It may turn into a solid, but you just need to add a little bit of water and that will just bring it back. And that's all there is to it. There's a jar of homemade pouring medium. I'm sure you'll love this pouring medium as much as I do. Leave me a comment and let me know if you're going to try this. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell to follow me for more exclusive tutorials, new techniques, twists on existing techniques, experiments, contests, and informative videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.